Master.
Hi everyone, Sneemaster here. Consolidated Outland's famous Mustang series has quite a few variants, but this review will be on the Mustang Delta specifically. The Delta is the combat variant of the series. It carries special rocket pods as well as some larger weapon hardpoints. Like all Mustang series, it is 21.5 meters long, 18 meters wide, and 9 meters high. The Delta is designed for a crew of 1. The cockpit has excellent visibility in all directions with no struts to obscure anything. There are 4 MFDs in front that don't block visibility very much. There are no beds or bathrooms on the Delta, just the single pilot seat. The Delta doesn't hold any cargo, but there is external pilot stowage for gear of 250K micro SCU. Not a huge amount of space, and you access it from outside the ship near the nose, but you can fit some guns and food in there. The Delta has 2 size 1 military shields, Class D. 2 size 1 shields is about average compared to many other light fighters, so it holds up well. You could upgrade these shields to get more powerful shields instead of the D class ones. The Delta also has a hull strength tougher than most other light fighters, aside from the Anvil Arrow. It is supposed to have more armor than even other Mustang variants, but I'm not seeing that in numbers right now. Maybe when armor is implemented, then the Delta will get even tougher. With the hull strength and shields, the Delta can hold up well in combat. Just watch out for your wings. They can get blown off in combat and anything that's on them. Speaking of the wings, they fold up when landing gear pops out, so you can fit the Delta in small landing pads and hangars, although not quite small enough for snub hangars. There are 2 size 1 hydrogen fuel tanks for a total fuel of 75,000 liters, which is a bit more than other Mustang variants aside from the Mustang Beta. The Delta has 1 size 1 quantum fuel tank and quantum drive, with fuel for 583 liters. That is not a very long range, but it is a fairly fast drive, so you'll have to refuel on the way if you plan on traveling across systems like Stanton or Pyro, or else get a slower long-range quantum drive. Combat speed is 184 meters a second and max speed is 1227 meters a second. The Delta has the slowest combat speed of all the variants, but faster max speed than most. The speed is decent enough for combat, but you might struggle against other light fighters like the Arrow or Gladius. The Delta also has a faster pitch, yaw, and roll than anything but the Gladius, the Mirai Razor, or the Kruger Snub Fighters. Just be careful getting stuck in a spin, you can black out easily in the ship. For weapons, the Mustang Delta has a custom nose turret with dual size 2 laser cannons. You can't change the turret or the size of the guns, but you could change the laser cannons to some other size 2 guns. This turret is pilot controlled, and if you have head tracking, you can turn your head to aim at targets to your side. Normally, cannons are a bit slower, but with gimbal mode on, it has less chance of missing. On the wings, you have 2 size 2 gun points with fixed size 2 laser repeaters. You can put gimbals on these hardpoints if you like, so that they follow the turret a bit. These hardpoints are larger than on any other Mustang variant that normally have just size 1 hardpoints. There are no missiles on the Mustang, but it does have Jericho rocket pods on the wings. These are custom hardpoints, you can't change or remove the rocket pods. These are dumbfire rockets and have 36 rockets in total, 18 per launcher. If your wings get destroyed, you will lose any guns or rocket pods that are on them, so keep that in mind. The Mustang Delta runs for $65 in time-limited sales whenever consolidated Outland ships go on sale. You can also buy it in-game at Area 18 for 763,000 UEC, which is not very expensive for a fighter. The Delta is not currently rentable in-game yet. The ship comes with a military olive green paint, but you can apply any other Mustang paint to the ship. The other Mustang variant paints will work, plus other paints you can get from the store or even from events. There is the Citizen Con 2948 Vindicator paint that is white, orange, and gray. The 2951 Luminalia event had the shiny blue and white Icebreak paint. The yellow and gray Guardian paint, the white and gray Polar paint, and the blue and gray Stormbringer paint are available in the store. The Delta is a great little fighter. It's fairly fast and very maneuverable. It has a lot of guns and rockets, plus most importantly, it's cheap for a fighter, both with real money and in-game. You can use the Delta for defensive roles such as protecting an area from enemy ships. The rockets are decent at taking out slower bombers, and guns are good against many fighters. If you have a large enough cargo ship or transport, then you may be able to carry it as an escort ship, but you would need either a transport ship like the Anvil Liberator, or else stick it to the outside of Hull C or larger cargo ships. The fuel tanks are too small for the Mustang Delta to escort ships by themselves too far. You can use the Delta for bounty hunting or piracy if you install some distortion weapons on it. You can use the rockets to weaken the target first and then disable them with guns. The rockets are also great for ground suppression to clear a landing zone. They work very well against ground targets. The Mustang Delta does have a slightly smaller detection profile, and if you install stealth components such as shields and power plants, then you can sneak around where enemies will have a harder time to detect you. The Delta is a dedicated combat ship though, so it has no cargo and isn't very useful for exploration. It may struggle against heavy fighters due to lighter armor and weapons, but as long as you dodge well, you should be okay. Also, there are no missiles on the Delta, so you don't have long-range weapons. Even the Jericho rockets don't have that far of a range, and they can't follow targets. The rockets also have an issue where you can't really see the rockets in flight until they hit a target. Sure, it's great for a stealthy attack, but it makes it very hard to see where you're aiming. Hopefully CIG fixes them up in the future where at least you can see the exhaust plume from them. The lack of long-range weapons means that you will have to fight targets up close. As the Delta is a light fighter, not an interceptor, it doesn't have the super high approach speed as interceptors do, but the max speed is pretty decent. The Delta is designed for maneuverability and knife fighting, so be careful when approaching heavily armed targets with long-range weapons. Make sure to dodge missiles and turrets and try to use your agility to get behind your targets. If you keep that in mind, then the Delta is a great ship for combat pilots who prefer highly maneuverable ships with decent guns. Alright, so that's it for the Mustang Delta review. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. You can use my referral code if you decide to jump into Star Citizen and you get 5,000 extra in-game credits. Here's a big thank you to my current patrons. I have a Patreon going for $3 a month and a YouTube membership for $4.99. All patrons and members will have their names listed at the end of my videos and get access to our Discord channel. Patrons and members also have first pick on the next item I'll cover, so feel free to sign up and let me know what you'd like to see next. Okay, catch you all next time.